I'm Ashley Jackson, and here with me is my little group. Becky Platt, who works in the fashion industry and who hasn't been painting since leaving school. Alan Truman, a waterboard official who's been painting for a couple of years. And Kathleen Meller, recently retired, who paints for a hobby.
Today we're in the heart of the Pennines, right on the roof of it. And what we're going to paint is around us here. But you're going to say to yourself, there's nothing here. Well, we're going to show you that there is something here to paint. So let's get on with it. It's worth half an hour walking around before you start and paint. We've just moved a few feet, and you won't believe it, we've got a different view altogether from up here. We see many rocks, and the shapes of the rocks are lovely here. In fact, when you look at it, it's like a giant's causeway. Move down here, and you get a different view again. But crouch down, and that then does look dramatic. This is what I've settled on. But you'll see the rocks on the left-hand side. They stand out dramatic to me. And then down into the valley, we have the road leading to the right, going into the valley. And the trees in the distance, the distant hills there, which look to me like an oriental painting. On my left-hand side, on the horizon there, you'll see some clouds. And I'm going to put the clouds in there. So I'm going to just do it soft there, come down, draw in my landscape, that hill there, that fell, as they would say, come down to there. Bring in the other one. That sort of goes up and comes back down again. It's like a little outline there for us. That come down on there. And the distant hill, just a small one there. Nice and there, nice and light. And come down from the right-hand side, down into the valley. Forget about the trees first. You can put those on in a moment. You're forming a composition. Trees here, on, and then have the wall and the zigzagging road, the winding road there. Take the road to wind. There. Now, incidentally, do not draw in as heavy as I'm doing. I'm doing this so that you can share in my painting. I would do it a lot lighter for myself. Along and to there. That would be the road. Now we're going to tackle the rocks here on the left. They're flat on the top, and they come down like cliffs. They're rather square looking, really. Just the corners have been rounded off. Down. The other thing I'd like to do as well is put some thistles in this one. Close-ups of thistles. As the trees grow from the bottom, so do thistles and grass. So take the pencil from the bottom up. Don't come down. Now we have to look to see where the light's coming from. The light today is coming from the right-hand side. There. That's where the arrow is. Now, whatever that arrow hits, or wherever it hits, is light. Where it misses, you'll find will be shadow. And that's in shadow, really. Just a little bit there, that hillside. Isn't as bright, this hillside here, isn't as bright as this piece here, which we're going to do. And it'll frame the picture. So now I've done the drawing, we'll begin to paint it in. When you look at that scene there, the sky falls from above right through into the valley. So the sky's falling out of the sky. That's what I was trying to say. So let's try and do it. Wet your paper in first. Clean water. The paper is rough texture. And you must not paint on anything less than 140 pounds in weight. There we go. Done that. Let's do a nice sky. Ultramarine blue, touch of Prussian. There. Let me show you. Ultramarine, touch of Prussian. Hit it at the top. It's deeper at the top, and as it comes down, it gets lighter. It nearly goes white. Come down, nice and light. Take it through to your distant hills. Into your distant hills. The sky's falling into the valley. Up to there. Take it across. down and on. Now, we said we wanted to put the clouds in over there on the left-hand side, or a cloud. So we ultramarine blue, touch of Prussian blue, squirrel hair brush, this is your wash brush, deepen it at that side, and let it fall into the valley. Now, don't leave that like that. Get your brush, take the surplus water out, feather it, just like a bird's feather, like a wing there. And all you do, nice and gentle, take it across. I'll show you why I did that. Clean your brush out. Do the same thing again. Squeeze the surplus water away. And here we're going to pull out. Watch this. This is magic, pure magic. Come down. Your clouds going to go into the valley, or the cloud's just going to seep into the valley there. And that will dry for us, and we'll work on the valley when that's dried out. Let's take the cloud along. Very simple, look. Don't use tissue paper to do it. A lot of people use tissue paper. Well, if you use tissue paper to mop out, you'll find that the tissue paper is made out of wood pulp. And what we're painting on is cotton and linen. And cotton and linen is a lot softer, so the tissue paper will scratch the surface of your watercolour paper. So don't use it. There's our clouds. That's what we're going to do. We're leaving that in. Can't do a thing now with the background. We're now going to work on our foreground, middle distance and foreground. We're going to work on this side round here. Look at the grass and you'll see yellow. There's more yellow in it today than blue. So let's put it in. Cadmium yellow, Prussian blue. Just a little pinhead of Prussian blue. To pinhead, there. Water, and go down for it. But what we're going to do is shape the rocks with the feel we're putting in, the yellow fields. Go to your contours, follow your contours. Don't do this. That's what everybody wants to do at home. Fill in. You're not filling in, you're actually sculpturing. So what we're doing is this. So we're going to the contours, we're taking it as an angle. It's sloping away from us. So go to your contours, take it down to the road. Go, following your contours. Now, you can see that you've got the trees there, the conifers and so on, looking as though somebody's had a crew cut. So don't just follow the contours of the valley and the hills, follow the shapes. So go vertical, spiky. There. Put your trees in like so. Right, I'm going to see now what my team's doing. Hi, Kathleen. Now there, you're enjoying that one.
Well, I think I felt a little bit happier about doing the rocks. Just the road I'm not too happy. Can you just...
The road, you see, when you look at the road, get the road lying down flat. Zigzag it like that, isn't it? Look, give it some interest. Now, there's a bend in it.
Right.
If you were to drive that road, you'll find, or walk it, there's a bend.
Right,
There are bends in
yes.
it, and it dips down and comes back up again. Yeah,
right.
Give it some twist.
Right.
Yeah, let's twist again. See you later.
I didn't think there was much to do, but now it's filling in with all the rocks.
Oh, the rocks. You sound really enthusiastic about the painting.
Rocks.
Yeah. Don't you like doing rocks?
They're not easy, but they're not...
See, your form there of your rocks there have formed all right. They're nice. It looks like an outcrop. That's smashing there.
The road looks like it.
Oh, that's your road, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's all right, yeah. Because you're at a different angle to the rest of them. So that's fine. Don't get sunburnt, Alan.
I haven't done it today.
Great.
Lovely.
Now let's have a look. You've dropped a clanger, which is a super duper one, to show people. Now, what you've got... Sorry about this, I know. Now, I don't usually pick on you, but when you look at that hillside down the valley, you'll see that each hill interlaces one another.
Yeah.
They don't come to points. Now look at yours here. You've got a point here, haven't you? And from that point radiates one spoke, two spokes, 3, 4 spokes, 5, 6 spokes. So if I drew a line round there, you'd have a cartwheel.
So what do I do then? What have I done?
All you've got to do is to take this line, like I'm going to do, take this line, draw it up here, right, take it up here,
Right.
that hillside,
Away from others, right.
interlace it,
Yeah.
because they're all starting
Right,
off from the
yeah.
same point. So watch it up here as well, and there, you see. Okay?
Right.
Look at the rocks and you'll see some crimson in them, a touch of crimson. So we'll bring the crimson, and we won't go mad with it, bring the crimson over here, and go to the contours again. Now we're putting in the shaded sides of the rocks. Always runs down. I'll use that as a crack. There we are. Never say die. There we go. Take it down. There. There. So we've got some cracks in the rocks there, taking across. We want our rocks to really stand out. Now you're going to say to yourself at the moment, well, that's too crimson. But don't forget, when the watercolour dries out, it'll be a lot weaker. Right, far distant hills. Sounds like a movie. So we use a little bit of that purple we've mixed over here, ultramarine blue, a bit more ultramarine blue, go for the sky colour, and what you're seeing is this. Look at those hills, and you'll see the tops of the hills are sharp. So you've got sharp edges at the top, crisp and sharp. The bottoms are soft. So you've got sharp tops and soft bottoms. Got the sharp top in there, edges there sharp, and the valleys are soft, to give you the feeling of the mist. Again, this time we add just a slight bit of colour, the colour we mix for the foreground feel. There. Don't go mad and put that on, because you'll spoil your painting. So soften it. We're forming the shapes of the fields. Taking the contours of the fields. Go for the distant hill. See, one hill marries into the other. So let's do it. Let's marry the two hills. Beautiful. Fading away. So that one wants to be softer. It's the beauty of watercolour. Watch. It's hard there. We make it softer. We're putting more water on the brush and less colour. Just give a hint of it. Just a hint. We're going to come forward now. Let's do the old trees there. Ultramarine blue, Prussian blue. Touch of your grass colour there. Vertical strokes. Follow your contours again. This side is a shaded valley. Vertical strokes for our wall. Vertical strokes. So I don't mind painting these walls, but I'm glad I never built them. My gosh, must have been awful being up here in the winter trying to build these walls. Now you've got your wall. The vertical side of the wall, which is in shadow, is dark. But just look at your wall toppings. The tops of the walls are light, nearly white. So we use the blue and the green mixed together, and we're going to cut in the field behind the wall, but leave some white toppings. Now to put in my rocks. I'm going to start with the small ones down here. Small brush, it's a number 4 sable, pointed. Where I've left the whites, that's the white of the paper, we put in suggestions of the rocks. So we rock and roll up to here, you see, just coming up here. Go down, take it zigzag down. You can see going into the distance. You have to get them off being too white as they go into the distance. They ought to go grayer. Now we're going to build in the foreground. Ultramarine blue, Prussian, crimson. We'll test it on one of these mounds and rocks here. Just let's test it out. That's too purple. That's too purple. Let's put a little bit of burnt sienna into that. And see if we come close to it. Just a touch of burnt sienna. That's better. That's better. Right. So now we're putting in the shaded side, the shadow side of the shaded side of the rocks. Shaded side and shadow. They're both different things. Shade is out of the light, and shadow is what it can cast. So they're different things. Shaping now. The shaded side of the rock here will shape the highlight of this one here. You can see the highlights here, so it's going to shape this one for us. Take it up, and down. At the same time, cutting in, we've got their weeds and thistles. So cutting in, shaping your weeds and thistles there. You're shaping the blades with the rock, with the shadow or the shade of the rock there. Shaping the your little crevasses now, your gullies. Now be bold. Be really bold now. And being bold is putting on a deeper tone. We're going to put thistle in. Prussian blue, crimson. But let's just put the heads in first. A little bit smaller than that. And get your green, Prussian blue, cadmium yellow together. And it begins to grow from the bottom. So take it from the bottom up. And as one single line goes up like a tree trunk, just goes up. Doesn't matter if it's thick and thin. And then from there, you have your little branches. Get another one going up there. Clean water into that rock. Come down. So you can give some of the veins in the rock then. Split it again up here. Clean water. Pull it out. There. Let's just not do straight lines. Let's take a cross, like an arrow. There. Rock split that way. Wet. Wet it again. Then get your brush. 2 fingers. Pull away. Nice moist brush. And then you pull out. There. Take a vertical one down here. Wipe out onto the paper. And then feather it in. Feather. So you don't have a hard edge. Now that's it now. I'll go and see what the others have done. Now you're beginning to do watercolours, Alan. That's lovely. That's lovely. The background's lovely. The middle distance is smashing there, kid. That's smashing. It's back down here, isn't it?
Stuck there again, aren't I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you've ended up with a cartwheel there, you don't know what to do with your rocks here because
Right.
you're lining them
Yeah.
and they're falling in line with the cart wheel,
I see.
with the spokes of the cart
Yeah.
wheel. So if you drop that line there, drop it down here,
Yeah.
you're away. It's only half an inch.
Right.
Now you're getting there. Don't you feel you're happier with it?
Yeah.
You don't sound it.
Here I can't.
What I mean, these boulders.
Even though it's very stronger, but
Hey, listen, those boulders are lovely. Yeah, the rocks there are lovely. You've done a smashing job. You've been a bit timid here, but if you could have just brightened that up or strengthened that, then you'll see that your whole painting will come to shape. That's a lovely painting. What a landscape to be painting, Kathleen. Eh?
Oh, yes, if only I could do better with it, Ashley.
Well,
Tried to improve on that hillside, of course, and made a real boom. Do you know my newest problem?
Yeah.
Brush strokes, the right brush strokes.
Well, you've heard what I said about the contours, and you haven't done
Followed them.
it. Yeah, you haven't.
I tried.
You haven't followed because you've gone across with your brush strokes. How did you do that hill there?
Well, I
Just show me back here.
different colour, but I started off that way, like you told me.
But you've gone
But it didn't.
that road.
But it didn't work,
See,
so
that way,
I
haven't
had to go the other way
Yeah.
then.
Now, so don't worry about that.
But my
That-
brush won't do just what I tell
I
it
know,
to do.
that's only practice. The main thing here is the same what I said to Alan. What you've got here is an arrowhead, all going to
Yes,
one point.
Yes.
Now, Mother
I
Nature, when you look at it there, you see, it doesn't. It interlaces.
Yes.
What you've done is that instead of
Mm.
that. You can soon rectify that. Okay? Now, I've put the mount on. We can see what it looks like. What I wanted you to look at was this area here.